It's a roller coaster. You know, the first couple of years, mostly in a fog. I think, just trying to remember how to get home when you're driving your car, what day of the week it is.
It has been 5 years now since a mass shooting at Pulse nightclub in Orlando left 49 people dead, 68 seriously wounded, and dozens more deeply traumatized.
You're just trying to function because your life has been turned upside down, and you have to come to grips with the fact that it's never going to be what it was.
Barbara Poma and her husband Rosario and a business partner opened Pulse nightclub in 2004. It was in memory of her older brother, who had died after a long battle with AIDS in 1991. After the shooting, she founded the One Pulse Foundation, dedicated to building a memorial to the 49 killed and a museum to remember their lives.
I think I've been saying it all along, is that this work gets me out of bed every day. It gives me purpose, it gives me inspiration, it gives me hope.
I don't know that I'll ever make peace with it. I think it's hard to wake up every day knowing that the people you came to rely on, the people you love more than anything in the world, aren't going to be there.
Brandon Wolf had gone to the club that night with his boyfriend, his best friend Christopher Drew Leinanen, and Drew's boyfriend, Juan Ramon Guerrero. Juan and Drew did not make it out. Brandon Wolf and his boyfriend did.
It's hard to get good news when the person you would have called first isn't going to answer the phone anymore. It's hard to plan a birthday party when the guy you expected to sit next to you isn't going to be in that chair. It's really difficult for me to imagine my wedding day without best men. So I don't know that I will ever get past the grief and trauma and sense of guilt I have for still being here.
People are getting hit by bullets, like blood is everywhere. And then there was a moment where he stopped. And that's when I first realized that my leg was shot. There were several other people shot and bleeding in the bathroom.
This press conference was 2 days after the mass shooting at Pulse nightclub. Patience, then 20 years old, had come to Orlando from Philadelphia with her best friend, Tiara Parker, and Tiara's family, including 18-year-old cousin, Akira Murray. The three young women were dancing, laughing, celebrating. They had just called an Uber to take them home when the shooting started. It ended 3 horrifying hours later. Akira was dead. Tiara was wounded in the side, and Patience had been shot in both her legs.
And there I was in the press conference alone with the doctors, trying to figure out why am I here? And trying to express to the world as best as I could this feeling of just guilt.
As the world mourns the victims killed and viciously slain, I feel guilty about screaming about my legs in pain because I could feel nothing, like the other 49 who weren't so lucky to feel this pain of mine.
So my leg actually never been the same, and it never will be the same. And the scars that I have tell a story, but the pain that I feel, that's my motivation to keep going. And I have this pain every day. So it's like, I have to do something with it.
It changes you completely. I don't think it changes your core of who you are, but it certainly changes how you handle things, how you look at things, priority shift, your outlook, how you cope. It just really changes so much of you.
And I think that's why my life has changed so much. I think that's why I found such meaning and purpose in fighting for a world that they deserved, a world that didn't let them down on June 12th, a world that they would be proud of, because I was left here for a reason.
Wolf has spent the past 5 years trying to honor their loss. He has become a nationally recognized advocate for LGBTQ issues and gun violence prevention. He's testified before Congress and the Florida legislature.
That's why I can say with confidence that if you are not using everything at your disposal to snuff hatred out, then you are just not doing enough. My best friends are not a statistic. They're empty seats at dinner tables, missing faces at birthday parties. They had futures that were stolen by hatred and our obsession with easy access to guns. So when this conversation gets bogged down in taxes and numbers, I simply ask that you remember their faces, remember their names, their stories, and honor them not with empty words and hollow sympathies, but with action.
If they can't be here and I am, then I have to do something to make the world a better place in their honor.
So, it's some days are better than others and some weeks are better than others. And then, as soon as you hit March and then April and then, okay, it's May 1, it's almost as if your body just knows it. It's like your brain just knows it and you can't protect yourself from it. And May comes and every day you're counting down till it's June 1. And then it's June 1. And then you just do this countdown until June 12th. And then you fall apart on June 13th.
There are people today who, on the outside, might seem like things are fine. There are whole swaths of our community where if you followed the media coverage, you would think their wounds are healed, but the truth is it's still just as raw as it was on June 12th of 2016, and that's not something that will ever go away.
I feel like 5 years after the shooting, I'm actually present for the first time in my life. I truly understand my purpose for undergoing something so painful. And it took a lot of feeling lost and feeling broken, feeling unworthy, not feeling worthy of life to get to this point of complete acceptance of myself, of what I experienced.
I think I talk about Pulse most frequently with people who haven't found anyone else to talk about it with. People who were afraid to come out of the closet afterward or didn't want to go to Pride anymore. Those people felt our trauma acutely. And because I'm someone who was closest to the epicenter of impact, they feel like they can connect with me.
What I've learned in 5 years is that you have to embrace those things. You have to stop wishing you'd go back to being the person you were before. You have to just say, okay, this is it now, and we're just going to go with what it is today. I can't tell you how I'll be in another 5 years. I can't tell you how I'll be in 10 years. But I could just accept this version today.